Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Cole and Noah, we're friends. Episode 2, season 2.
Whoop.
Episode
Womp
1
womp.
was literally just recorded. We just got done recording it, and so now you are hearing this one a week later. But guess what? Cole and I aren't hearing this a week later. We're hearing it right after episode 1.
That's right, because we're proactive as heck. We're on top of our stuff.
We're make so many episodes this season.
So many.
This is going to be the longest season of all time. It's going to continue till Cole and I are both dead.
Literally, actually, Noah and I aren't doing anything else today. We're just recording 25 episodes.
We canceled all our meetings. We've quit our jobs.
This is a recording one shot. We're just sitting through making it all.
We're making an entire season in one day.
We should do that sometime.
That would be intense.
Nuts. That would be bonkers.
That would be hardcore.
That's not a bad idea, though. We just do like 10 episodes, call it a season, take like a break.
Yeah, that'd be hardcore.
We could talk about everything. That actually would be
Cole,
bad. That would be hard.
What do you dislike most about Batman? Character, movies, comic books, games, toys. If you have anything to say about the toys, you're wrong. Great
I have nothing to say about the toys.
How dare you?
You want to know this? I have two, I think. The first
one, the fans.
Mostly Noah. The thing I hate most about Batman is Noah.
And that's it, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to season 2. We'll catch you never, because Cole and I are no longer friends.
I don't know why, but the hooks on his forearm bracers have always bothered me, because actually this is probably a toy thing, because I remember having access. I don't think I owned it, but having access to a Batman toy and thinking, these are so thin. There's no way that you would use these and they would actually hurt anybody or not break. There's a durability to his suit that I just don't believe. And it bothered me as a child, so I guess it bothers me now. So there's that.
Can I interest you in the Robert Pattinson Batman where those don't exist currently?
I'm very interested in that Batman. Thank you. So it's a minor thing. What else don't I like about Batman? This is more of a Bruce Wayne issue.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it would be that hard to actually figure out he's Batman.
You don't say.
And it kind of bothers me how no one ever knows. What does this guy? He's Bruce Wayne. He's the sole heir to his fortune. But what does did he inherit a fortune or a company? Because he doesn't do anything to make it keep going. He just Batman's all he wants. It's
he basically just operates as the guy in the chair who overlooks everything, and
he just owns it all. He is the picture of every passive income scam ad on YouTube. Yes. He is do you want to be like Bruce Wayne? Do you want to be? Oh, have you heard the song? That's my recommendation. Ooh, we're gonna get there.
Save it.
Remind me. There's a song. It has to do with Batman. And I am going to play it for you, and I think you're going to love it.
Okay.
But later, I'll save it. I can't believe I forgot that. I added it to my workout playlist, and I was like, no one needs this. Not Shine.
I'm singing Cole's meme song.
Yep. I think that's probably it. I want to say his, he doesn't have superpowers, which doesn't bother me, because he's just a heck of a statistician. No, that's not the right word. That's a statistics person.
Yes.
Strategist.
Yes.
Strategy is the word I'm looking for. Hi, everyone. My name's Cole.
He is very smart.
I'm still sick. He's very smart. He's very prepared. He's very proactive. And he doesn't even have a super duper suit like Iron Man does. And I respect that, but I'm also a little skeptical. Just a little bit. I'm like, you are sitting at the same table with Superman?
Yeah, Superman, The Flash, Green Lantern, Martian Manhunter. Cyborg.
But I'm less skeptical of him as skeptical as I am of Hawkeye. Hawkeye is just, he's so good.
He's just very accurate.
He's just, yeah. His skill is superhuman, but he doesn't have superpowers. And that for me is a little, I'm like, nah. And what really did it, even though I loved the show, because the show was amazing, it was when he had, what's her bucket? His little sidekick person. Kate Bishop. When they're being chased on a bridge, and he's like, shoot an arrow up in the sky. And she does. And then they drive a little further, and then he turns around and shoots his arrow and hits her arrow up in the sky, and it turns into a super mega arrow. Yeah, and then it falls down and destroys the car. I'm like, There is no freaking way that I am going to believe that you did all that without some superhuman ability to keep track of everything that's happening and hit that tiny, tiny arrow. I don't believe you, sir.
He's just highly accurate.
I don't believe it. That's super accurate.
Yes.
I don't believe Hawkeye doesn't have superpowers. It's a lie. That's the conspiracy I want to break down. Hawkeye's actually superpowered, but it's just such a small superpower, it's basically not superpowered. He's just super accurate. Those are my complaints about Batman so far.
Is that it?
It's really it.
I guess you didn't really have time to think about it either.
No, I didn't. You didn't prep me at all.
Told you about this. So
I like Batman a lot.
Yeah.
I don't have much gripes about Batman.
This is hard for me to sit with, but I think one thing I dislike about Batman really is like fans. And I think you have that in any universe. I think there's just as there is the same with sporting teams.
I feel the same way about some Jesus
like,
fans.
Yeah, it's just like certain ways people are,
Yeah.
they just suck. And like, but I feel like, let's see, if I had to pick things that I disliked about Batman, let's see, so hard.
You can do it.
I love Batman.
What are his flaws? Flaws make him real.
Sounds like counseling. Sounds like you're trying to make me not afraid of him anymore.
I mean,
what did Batman do to hurt you? One thing that I've never really liked, similar thing to the Bruce Wayne thing, is like, why don't people just shoot him in the mouth?
Seriously, yes.
If they're like, his whole suit's armored, even his cowl, shoot him in
Just
the
shoot
mouth.
him- just
shoot
shoot
him in
for the
eyes.
face.
Yeah, no, well, because his cowl's bulletproof.
Sure,
too.
but
not his mouth. His mouth is not bulletproof.
to be fair, that would be hard to hit. Like
Yeah, it's a small target,
shooting
for sure.
a gun at that small of a target
Mhm.
when, the environment isn't like a shooting range and no one is trying to hit you. That's actually really, really hard.
And then I think, let's see. Some of his sidekicks can be beans at times, and I just think I think he really tries to be a good person, but it's just like that quote that I read, I think last season of the podcast, that he just sometimes isn't. So he puts these kids in harm's way, and it's like, you need to learn to be me.
That's true. He's
And so
he literally just re-traumatizes children.
That's the hard thing for me is I really do love most things about the character, and I have loved the character for so long that I think I can justify most things.
Yeah.
They
They say hurt people hurt people,
Yep.
and Batman was hurt, so he hurts people. But worse, he
emotionally
hurts people so that they will be hurt and hurt people.
potentially even hurt him.
Yeah, he's
Case
just
in point, Red Hood.
He's a man of hurts.
Yes, he is a man of I hurt myself. Let's see. Sometimes he has pretty thick plot armor as well.
Yes.
For a lot of things. Obviously, he's just human, so it makes sense. Like, but yeah, it's hard for me to find things I dislike about that character, because I think when you love a character so much and you have loved them for so long, it's really hard to pick them apart, especially when they are like a fictional character. Like, it's hard because you can typically like justify things. Like, even for all the things you hate about Star Wars or dislike about Star Wars, you can be like,
and there are many.
Okay, I can see how they would get here. I can see blah, blah, blah.
Sure.
Blah. And like, for me, if I'm going to be honest about it, like, let's say movie portrayals and things like that, right? So like, the Batman vs Superman, or not Batman vs Superman, Justice League. The original one that Joss Whedon did, they made it like they wanted to be Avengers, so they made Batman go from being this hyper violent, hyper angry old guy to he has gray hair, he tell funny joke now. He not superhero. He's scared of big guy. And so they made him like the comic relief, and it's Batman.
Yeah.
You have Flash is right there, like
Let him be the comic.
yeah, like he's funny. He's a young kid, but no, they're like, no, Batman's going to be the comic relief. So that sucked. Batman vs Superman, the
Old
thing
man
they did
bats.
when they just tried to cram so many things into one movie rather than just like explain, like give Ben Affleck's Batman a solo movie and let them explain, because for the outside viewer, they see Batman killing people now, blah, 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 blah. They see all of that, and they don't get it. Whereas if you know Batman and the character, you're like, oh, so he's been Batman for 20 years. He's seen a lot of people he loves die, and now he's just fed up, and now an alien is invading his city. So, yeah, he's resorting to any means necessary to get done what he believes needs to be done to save his city. And, so he's just fed up. But, like,
and that makes
some of the
sense to
movie
me. I
portrayals
love
just
that.
aren't awesome in ways that they portray the character just because they think they have to fit a certain mold that's been there for years and they feel like they can't get outside of it. And that's why I like this new telling with Robert Pattinson, is because he's a young Batman, still has a lot of time to explore, and he's a Batman who hates and doesn't see the value in being Bruce Wayne. And so that's what I love about this newest one. He doesn't see the value. He only sees the value in being the thing that can strike fear in the hearts of people, is a rumor more so than a fact at this point for a lot of people. And it's just much scarier. And so he doesn't like Bruce Wayne. And why would he? Bruce Wayne let his parents die, even though like he was 12. So
sure.
And then just sometimes the way people glorify like parts of movies, I think people cannot get past the Dark Knight trilogy because it was Christopher Nolan, it was Hans Zimmer, it was Heath Ledger's Joker and Heath Ledger's last performance. I think people just need to let it go. Like The Dark Knight's a great movie, yes, but Christian Bale is not the end all be all of Batman. He's just not.
That was just a different genre of super, like those movies.
Hyper realistic superhero.
Hyper realistic. And it's great, but it wouldn't, like, you couldn't. We're lucky, we're fortunate that those movies were not Marvel Universe movies, because the current MCU would not be able to, like, trying to make the current MCU would be so hard.
Hyper realistic.
If you had the Dark Knight as like a precursor to it. You sort of had that a little with Iron Man, because Iron Man was pretty, like, felt mostly realistic. You're like, oh, okay, this is like,
and it came out same time as The Dark Knight.
Yeah. But yeah, I think I think you're right. For a lot of people, moving past that with DC is hard. It's just it's literally a different kind of superhero movie. It's just a different genre altogether.
And then the things I dislike about Star Wars, honestly, there's not a ton. Like, I just think there's so much.
That's nice.
I just think there's a ton that I haven't gotten in on, and so I think there's just so much that is so daunting to try and wrap my head around it. And like, honestly, I don't have a desire to go back and watch episode 4, 5, 6, and I don't have the desire to go rewatch them. They're movies that, while I love all the lore behind them, like I do, and I think I've told you the action figures are what got me into Star Wars, and like just different stuff like that. Like, I love all the lore, but it feels like there's so much, and there's just so many little nuances here and there. And like, even with Mandalorian, I'm like, why should I care about this character? It almost feels Marvel post Endgame to me, where it's like, why do I care about the Black Widow movie now when I know the end result? Yeah. And obviously there's still so much, like this Cal Kestis in Jedi Fallen Order and stuff like that. Like, that's that's post Order 66. Yep. Post all of that. Yep. But it's before Luke Skywalker and all of that. So it's just all like, why should I care about that? But it's just fun. And so it just feels a little daunting, which is silly when you think about that coming from like a Batman or comic book fan, because there's at any given point 12 different Batman comics that are happening at any given time. There's so many different iterations and blah 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 blah. So probably that. And then again, I just think there's certain fans that suck, but again, that's every fan base.
That's true.
And yeah, just certain movies, they just don't draw me in to want to see them. Like, if there's a new Star Wars movie, I'll go see it, but there's there's something about that universe that just doesn't capture me in a way that I want to latch onto it. Yeah. But I still will watch things and think they're great, and like, it's stupid things that draw me in. Like I said, the reason I got drawn into the Obi-Wan show was because the battle damage scene at the very end, when like Darth Vader gets his helmet ripped open and you like see him for the first time. I was like, ooh, I love a good battle damage suit. So I'm gonna watch the show for that scene. Yeah. That's such a stupid reason. But
it worked.
Yeah.
It got you in there. Yeah.
So Cole, what don't you like about Star Wars? And we've obviously gone into this.
Yeah, I'll try to keep it brief. It's Star Wars is kind of a mess that, like, as a piece of art that came out originally, which obviously I was not around to see and enjoy. I think it was really beautiful, and it was something new, and I don't even, just forward thinking for its time. And people wanted to continue it. And I think the way that it had been continued did not masterfully handle the original world and the original characters and the principles therein that like George Lucas had put together in the first 3 films, episodes 4, 5, and 6.
Do you think that maybe has to do with like the time? Like the time differences in them? Just technology advancing, or do you think it was George Lucas just getting older and his vision changing?
No, actually, I think it is. And I'm not an expert on this stuff, but I think it really is just a confusion or a mishandling of vision between people over time. Because actually, Christian Wismont would be able to speak this even better than I can, I think. But there was like George wrote the stuff for episodes 4, 5, and 6, but I don't think he directed every single one of them. And then he did direct episodes 1, 2, and 3. Like, he really wanted to direct episodes 1, 2, and 3. And there's an argument to be made. I think I was talking to Christian about it, and I wanted to dig more into it because it made sense to me. But there's an argument to be made that, like, George Lucas wrote this amazing world, but is not an excellent director. And when he got to direct his own movies, we got not the greatest movies, which makes sense. Like, the prequels are just some poorly, like episode 2 is hot trash. Yeah. But the story it's trying to tell is really cool. That's probably the most frustrating thing, is knowing the story it's trying to tell and knowing that that is the overall story, which is a really fun and good one.
Yeah.
But seeing how it gets told is painful. And so I think you had the jumbling of vision between George and maybe who he allowed or didn't allow as directors in the first 6 movies. And then you've probably got lots of other meddling with in Disney bought Lucasfilm and other stuff. And then you have the last 3 episodes, 7, 8, and 9. And that one, for sure, I will say, is like a just obstruction of vision. You have unclear vision between people.
Them going from like, here's going to be J.J. Abrams. Oh, and then we're going to have Rian Johnson. Oh, that wasn't a good idea. We're going to go back to this.
It honestly felt like a mess. I don't know why they made those decisions, and I wouldn't be surprised if they're like, we want to do highly collaborative stuff and get lots of people in on helping, which is cool. They do that with The Mandalorian. Every episode is a different director, which is really cool. They can do it. You can pull it off. And if that's what they were hoping to do, trying to do with that trilogy, I think it was a really good example of what maybe diversity without unity can do in all of its negatives. Because you can have a highly diverse group of people and thinkers and ideas, but if you can't all get on the same page, if you can't be diverse yet united, you have chaos. And I wonder if that's what happened with Star Wars, and that's what it feels like, and that's why I don't. That's
you think
the
they were
biggest thing
trying
I don't
to do
like
a Marvel thing where they're like, this is all ran by well, no, because it doesn't even seem like they had somebody at the helm. I think that's been the biggest through line, although not really so much now.
Sure.
The biggest through line with Marvel was they have a guy over.
Yeah, they've got their Kevin
here's
Feige.
Where we're going. So I wonder if maybe they were trying that.
I think
maybe we give another director a chance.
I think Kathleen Kennedy is kind of that person over those movies. I mean, because she's over all of Lucasfilm, I think. And there are just a lot of core Star Wars fans who just really don't like her vision for Star Wars. So, but then along comes this thing called The Mandalorian. Jon Favreau and oh my gosh,
Dave Filoni.
Thank you, Dave Filoni.
The name is burned in my brain.
Sorry, Dave Filoni. I can't believe I forgot your name. You are a legend.
One of you is Happy Hogan.
They made greatness. They continue to make greatness, and it is what I think has kept the Star Wars universe alive, honestly. Because you have true fans who are watching the things they make. You can see it too in the way that they handled Luke Skywalker versus the way that the new movies handled Luke Skywalker, very, very differently. And you had fans who were, I think, actually wounded, like emotionally hurt at what Star Wars proper would do with characters that they fell in love with, and then found a degree of like feeling like, oh, you do see us, you do hear us, we are important.
Feel
seen. Yeah, honestly, I think lots of fans felt seen by the Mandalorian when Luke Skywalker shows up in a way that honored Luke Skywalker's character, and therefore I think honored what Star Wars originally was. Yeah. And that's what new Star Wars doesn't do very well. It doesn't honor what it originally was very well. And that's a big reason. That's the biggest thing I don't like about it.
Yeah.
So there you go. I rambled for a while, but we got there.
Vision.
It's really vision. Which is why I love Marvel, because they've always had
Stop it. Stop it. Don't you say it. Don't you say it. Because they don't. He hasn't shown up since WandaVision.
Do you know about the ship of Theseus?
Let's just, real quick, because we don't have that much time left in this episode.
That's true.
So let's talk about Marvel and what's been going on recently. 'Cause I'll be honest, the last Marvel movie I saw, last Marvel property I saw, I think might have been She-Hulk.
Marvel?
I didn't see
Stop
Thor:
it.
Love and Thunder.
Get some help.
Get some help. I haven't seen Ant-Man.
Don't bother.
See, and that's the thing. A lot of people are like, no, dude, don't listen to the critics. Ant-Man was sick. Actually, the first thing they say is Kang was sick. And I'm like, yeah, that's all I've heard about Ant-Man. I've just heard Kang was great.
Honestly, Kang wasn't even that good. Like, Kang in Ant-Man is still not as good as Kang in Loki. And he literally only showed up for one episode. And he's not even the bad guy then. Like,
He's not the bad guy, Kang.
Kang is cool, but even then, like, Kang doesn't redeem the movie. Kang does not make it a good movie. He's probably the only really good part. And it's not even like, it's just the more you learn about him, the more you find out about him.
And I feel like the only thing they're doing, and a lot of people are giving DC crap because they're like, oh, Marvel has a multiverse, so therefore you're copying it, trying to have a because of Flash and everything.
Everyone is building a multiverse.
But the
and
issue
thank
is,
goodness they are. Like, honestly, thank you, Marvel, for making something that can work. And everyone's going, multiverses can actually work. We can make whatever the heck we want. Let's go. That's awesome.
And so I wonder, it just feels like Marvel, this whole phase has been like, hey, look, the multiverse exists. And I think that's been it. And I think that's been the only theme.
Yeah.
I don't feel like there's any building. And obviously they have to kind of rebuild the wheel in a little bit because you can't just do the same thing that happened in the Endgame or in the Infinity Saga.
Yeah.
You can't. Like, we can't. But it just, I just don't have any desire to see any of these heroes.
Yeah.
Like, the only one I really care to see is Shang-Chi.
Yes.
That's it.
Dude, I can't wait.
And Daredevil. Which John Bernthal got confirmed to be coming back as Punisher in the Daredevil Disney series, which is sick. Deadpool 3 is still coming out.
That's right.
We forget about that. That's going to be incredible because Hugh Jackman's in that as Wolverine, which is also going to be awesome. I hope.
Wait.
Guardians 3 comes out. The Flash comes out, which, again, talking about multiverse.
Yeah.
You get Ben Affleck's Batman, potentially a returning George Clooney making a cameo.
That would be awesome.
Which I never thought I'd be excited for that. And then Michael freaking Keaton coming back as Batman, saying the iconic line, "I'm Batman," and then like doing things that in his movies were not possible.
Yeah,
jumping down, sweeping through, fighting bad guys while Danny Elfman's plays while he like.
Yes.
Oh, dude, it's just so like I can't wait for that movie, and it's gonna serve as a reset for the DCU proper. With James Gunn at the helm, he's talked about like Superman Legacy that's coming out down the line. Batman Brave and the Bold, which is going to feature Batman who already has a son and potentially several other Robins because his current Robin is Damian Wayne, again, his son.
Yep.
And so here's who I want to be Batman in the DCU because not only do I get Robert Pattinson, my favorite Batman, but I also get another Batman. And so please, James Gunn, please do me a solid because he's not being used by Marvel anymore. Please. Cast Jake Gyllenhaal as Batman.
Oh, yeah.
You need a middle-aged Batman or like he's like mid to late 30s, which means he's already been Batman for a while, but he also is old enough to have a son who's already like 12 or 13 and fighting crime alongside him. Jake Gyllenhaal, please make him Batman. Please.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
I love Jake Gyllenhaal. I do as well, and it would just be so good. And I was like racking my brain, thinking of people who could be Batman. I thought they were going to go with a younger Batman, so I was like, Dacker Montgomery, who played Billy in Stranger Things, he'd be a great one. Aaron Taylor Johnson, who played Kick Butt, not the actual title.
Oh, yeah.
He'd be a great, big, beefy Batman, but he's playing Kraven in the solo Kraven movie.
He is?
Which is still a thing.
Why?
Because you're going to love this, Cole. You know what movie is getting ready to start filming? Venom 3, baby. Venom 3.
I thought you were going to say Morbius 2, but that disappointed me just as much.
I bet that's coming. Yeah, Venom 3 is just as disappointing because we're going to have, we're going to get with Venom 3? Another movie. And then the Venom trilogy will be complete.
This is so dumb.
You know all the building they did to Spider-Man, and then
nothing
didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Although they did leave that symbiote behind.
Yeah, but that's
Tom
for the
Holland's
MCU to play with. That's not for to do anything with.
I just want to see that black suit. Oh, dude.
That would be really cool.
I also forgot that Spider-Man 2, the video game, comes out this year, and we're probably going to get the symbiote suit in the video game.
Oh, yeah. That would be really cool.
Possibly a symbiote Miles.
I am going to miss that. I am going to miss
It's all
not
right.
being able
I
to
will tell
do
you
that.
about it. And you know what? You don't need it, Cole.
I don't need it. It's true.
You got the movies.
It doesn't have the hold on me like it used to.
Exactly. Man, there is a lot of really good movies coming out this year.
There are.
The one in the Lost episode Cole and I talked about was Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
Yes, we talked about it.
And now Cole has seen it.
I've seen it.
And sad.
I've seen it and sad. And sad.
But
you want to know what my favorite part of the whole movie was?
What's
that? It was the end credit scene with Loki. It's my favorite part of the whole movie.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Does that come out this year?
Loki season 2? I don't know, but it should. I don't know. I hope it does.
Need more Owen Wilson.
Here's the thing that hurt the most. Not hurt the most.
And what hurts the most?
Yeah, it was being so close. Having so much to say. Walk away, man. Just walked away.
There is a video. There's a TikTok that I need to show you, and it's this girl, and she's like, "You know what hurts the most?" And he's like, "No," or he's like, "Yeah," and then it just goes, and starts playing the song. Or no, she's like, "You know what hurts?" And he's like, "No, but do you know what hurts the most?" And then it starts playing the song.
With Ant-Man, so much of the movie was CGI, and that CGI is not a bad thing, but there are times where you feel like the movie got lost in what they were trying to do with effects, and there were moments, I don't know how else to explain it other than it felt kind of like all of these actors sort of showed up on a weekend and were like, "Oh yeah,
in the giant green room.
We're involved in Ant-Man, right? Let me try to remember that character again. Okay, yeah, no, I think I got it. Let's just go for it." And then that's their performance
they just
in the movie. Like it feels, it feels, it feels as weighty as a holiday special, which is unfortunate because
the Guardian special felt like more.
The Guardian special felt like more. Like that one did really, really good, and this just I don't know what it was.
I want a Disney Plus series of Draxton as Little Man.
I want that little man.
I just want a Disney Plus series of Kevin Bacon in the MCU, just stuck on the planet on nowhere. Kevin Bacon in nowhere.
Drax is going to open a Little Man store. That's his future.
Just Little Man. Would you like to buy a Little Man?
Just Little Man. What's the beans per capita rating on that?
I'm going to type in beans per capita to Google and see what happens. Hold on.
Oh, jeez. I have more things to say, but we should probably do our recommendations.
Yes. Oh, that's a thing. Hold on.
Beans per capita is a
Bean
thing?
consumption per capita.
Oh, man. We got to go there.
We're pretty close. Which country eats most beans per capita? Rwanda.
I mean, I don't know. That feels right.
From the Helgi Library.
The what?
The Helgi Library.
Helgi!
Rwanda, Burundi, El Salvador, Tanzania. Wow. United States not even on there.
We can change that.
Guys, come on.
Let's get those beans numbers up.
Yeah, honestly, we need to get these. Rwanda has it at about 37.5. 32.6 kilograms per capita.
Let's get those beans numbers up. It's time to start eating beans. Beans on toast. Beans with breakfast.
Beans on toast, isn't it?
Yeah. Recommendations.
Yes.
1, get the beans up. That's what I recommend, honestly, eating beans.
Ooh, yep. Black beans, refried beans, refried beans.
Let's get those beans.
Refried beans.
That might be, if we make merch, can we? I feel like we're on a mission now. We need to raise the beans per capita rating.
Guys, we really,
in America.
Cole's right. The beans per capita, I'm sick of these numbers being, I'm sick of all those other countries outshining us on beans per capita.
Yeah.
Okay?
Let's get those up.
So, Cole's food recommendation.
I recommend beans. My audio recommendation. You ready for this? It's a song called Swing. It's by a fella named Connor Price. And it starts.
I've heard the name.
It starts with him going, Batman? Who? Batman.
Oh, yeah, that's him and him and Nick D.
Yeah.
Yes.
I actually really love that song. It's really great. Go listen to it.
Yes.
And then something worth watching. I think I've recommended it before. I'm sorry, but Atlantis, the animated movie, is pretty cool. I enjoy it. Oh no, I take it back. Go watch Moneyball. Moneyball's awesome. So good. What does he do? He gets on base.
What
are we doing here, man?
My audio recommendation, go listen to the song Antihero by Taylor Swift. I heard it in the Netflix show You that Taryn and I were watching. And I didn't realize how much of a banger that song was. But plus the chorus of hi, or it's me, hi, I'm the problem, it's me. Everyone can relate to that line.
Yeah.
You're like, oh yeah.
That's me.
So audio recommendation, Antihero by Taylor Swift. Movie recommendation, go watch The Batman, obviously. Come on. And then I don't really have another movie recommendation. I'm trying to think of like what I have watched recently. I honestly spend so much time watching YouTube that I don't watch like
movies. I understand.
Yeah, I just don't watch movies.
Would you recommend any Transformer movie ever?
No.
No, I didn't
No,
think
I
so.
wouldn't. No, I don't think I could not recommend those enough. If you're into true crime stuff, you could watch. I don't remember the name of it, but it's about the Murdaugh case happening. Have you heard anything about that?
Nope.
It's a thing about a lot of corruption, in like a southern town, and it's called Murdaugh Murders, a southern scandal.
The murders.
And it's pretty good. It's fascinating, and it just shows how much corruption can go down in like a small town. So watch the Murdaugh Murders. It's a scandal on Netflix. And then food recommendation. Go get wings. I just love a good chicken wing.
Yeah.
So go get wings. Specifically, depending on when you hear this, if they're still out, they might not be. The hot honey rub from Wingstop. Oh,
that sounds so good.
It's so tasty. I love dry rubs on like chicken wings.
Yep.
The hot honey rub. It's so delicious. It's a little bit spicy, but it's sweet. It's tangy.
Yeah.
Oh, go eat that.
Go eat that. Get the beans per capita.
Get the beans per capita. Get the wings per capita.
Yeah. Honestly, those together should be.
Yeah, beans and wings.
Beans and wings for life.
Yep. Also, shout out Pastor Les, because Succession Weekend just happened 2 days ago now.
He did it.
On his big celebration weekend. This final weekend is the final passing of the mantle, which will be crazy.
He succeeded.
To pull into Cole and I's actual jobs for a little bit. But
we're
shout
pastors.
out Pastor Les. You actual legend. What a great human being. What a great career. Pastor Les, you're incredible. We love you.
Hair.
I mean, great tattoos. Just
actually,
he's like in his 60s.
In the videos they showed of him, his arms just get bigger and more toned. Like he's getting older, but his arms are getting more serious.
He's in such good shape, and
he really is.
He's a great man. He is just such a great man. And shout out Pastor Micah. We love you as well.
Yep.
And can't wait to be led by you.
Yep.
This took a very wholesome turn.
It really did.
That's my recommendation. Go watch this last weekend of celebrating Pastor Les on YouTube. The Lifegate Church.
You can find it. Lifegate Church.
It was the one from March.
Would it have been 17th, 16th?
No, because 7 days after.
Whatever is close to that.
No, 19th.
Yes, 19th. I was sick at home. Yeah. I didn't help with that one.
It's great. It's a great thing to watch from our church, Lifegate Church.
It's great.
Omaha. It's fantastic. So, shout out to you guys for listening. Shout out.
We know they all
that'll get bleeped or not.
We know.
Let us know more things you want to hear about. Let us know if you'd buy merch. Let us know if you just want to give Cole and I money. You know.
Yeah, we'll always take that.
It would go right back into the podcast.
It does. We reinvest all of our proceeds.
We'll buy more curderburgers. Kidding, those aren't around anymore.
All right, everybody. Thank you for listening to what is this? Episode 2 of Season 2.
Season 2. We're still friends. Chapter 1.
Bye.